Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Ralph Breaks the Internet. This is essentially Wreck-It Ralph 2. Of course, it's a sequel directed by Rich Moore and Phil Johnson. Rich Moore had done the original one. I don't know if Phil is involved with that as well, but either way, this is from 2018. It's an hour and 57 minutes long, and it stars John C. Reilly, Sarah Silverman, Jane Lynch, Jack McBrayer, Taraji P. Henson, Alan Tudyk, although he's in a different role. He was Candy King in the last film. He is Mr. No More. He's a search engine. So Alfred Molina, Doc Ock, is in this. Ed O'Neill plays the guy who, Mr. Liptak, who runs the arcade, and tons of other voices throughout this. Flula Borg, you'll probably recognize him from Pitch Perfect and a bunch of other stuff. He's done some stuff with Conan O'Brien. Timothy Simons, you know him from Veep, if you ever watched Veep. Hopefully you kids never did. But yeah, it's a big cast. But the guest stars, the best guest stars in this are never necessarily just the actors. It's all the video game characters. It's everything from Zangief, from Street Fighter, and Pac-Man, and Sonic, and just, you got that in the last film. You got a lot of that in the last film. But this one goes further. It goes into the internet, of course, and it introduces us to a number of different... it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how this will age in, say, 5-10 years. I mean, it's only been 4 years now? 3 years? Yeah. Since this movie came out. When Ralph and Vanellope eventually make their way into the internet, in order to acquire something they need badly in order to save Vanellope's game, that's the main premise I'm going to give you. That's all I'm going to say without spoiling anything else, hopefully. But yeah, they have to head in the internet on a quest to get something on eBay. And things go from bad to worse as they chart these unknown waters. They have no idea what the internet is or what eBay is or how it works. And it just gets them deeper and deeper into trouble. But they learn about all sorts of things, how the internet is kind of categorized fairly well into different areas, different topics of interest and things like that. And we come across, it's hard, I'm not going to spoil story points, but I'm going to spoil a little bit when it comes to the places they visit. So if it's a concern, you might probably want to stop now and just watch the movie. To me, I love it. It's so good. I love the original, but there's some things about this that I love even more. It's not perfect, but it's just really good. It's just fun. It's the kind of thing you just want to put up on a big screen in 4K, which I do not have, but a big 4K screen, and just go through freeze frame and go frame by frame to see all the tiny little Easter eggs everywhere. Well, you know, Vanellope's a racer. She's a part of the Sugar Rush game, and they end up dropping into a certain strange world that has a totally different graphic set. It's high res, realistic looking, and it's called Slaughter Alley. Dang it, I've already forgotten. Oh, I forgot. I did kind of leave her out in the list of actors, but they head in this world that's very much like Grand Theft Auto, and the character, technically the NPC character that it's not really, nobody's really an NPC. I mean, technically Ralph and Vanellope would be, well, Ralph at least would be an NPC character. Technically, he's a bad guy that you cannot control when you play the game. But they meet somebody called Shank, played by Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman. And she is a racer as well, but of a whole different scale of car and a whole different design. And it's kind of neat to see Ralph and Vanellope in their very old school arcade, bright colors and simple simple design walking through an almost realistic world. It's obviously a video game, but the physics are all different and everything is just absolutely crazy. And Penelope falls in love with this place because, you know what? It's not the same old 3 tracks. It's something different. And, well, that causes a little bit of tension between the 2 best friends here. So that's also all I really want to tell you. All I really want to tell you story-wise. But I have to point out some things which have been spoiled in the trailers over and over again. And the movie's been out for 3-4 years now. So I'm going to tell it to you. One of my favorite parts, believe it or not, involves the princesses. Yes, nearly all of the Disney princesses, if not all of them, show up in at least 2 scenes. The first scene, the main scene that they show up in has Penelope running through the Oh My Disney land, and she gets in a little bit of trouble for spamming people. So she gets in a little bit of trouble, and she's on the run from stormtroopers. Yes, it's in Disney, so think of all the IP. Think of there's Marvel, there's Star Wars, there's Pixar, there's just about everything you can imagine, just colliding in one space. It's kind of really neat. You'll see R2-D2 and C-3PO at different points with Baymax, and there's Buzz Lightyear, and there's just everything you can imagine. There's I think there was an Infinity Gauntlet I saw at one point, but it just comes at you. There's so much, and there's some stuff that's not even obvious. The A113 reference is in there, even though that's a Pixar thing technically. But there's an A113 reference. You'll see it in the hallway, painted on the wall as Penelope is on the run, and she runs into these princesses, who we all know. We know everybody from Snow White all the way to Moana, everybody in between. And I think that everybody who originally voiced them, except for probably like the older ones like Snow White or Cinderella, I don't know if they were still around to voice these characters, but all the modern ones show up, and they like Judy Benson, who does Ariel, she does the voice. Ming-Na Wen does Mulan, and yeah, Mandy Moore is Rapunzel, or from Tangled. And so it's Vanellope's encounter with these princesses that has been turned into a meme plenty of times, but it's amazing that Disney not just allowed it, but it's very much on the nose. It's almost an indictment of the storytelling they have been doing over the years when it comes to princesses. And it is fantastic. It is one of the most genuine and truly funny moments in a movie that I've seen in a long time. It is, yes, Disney got to poke fun at itself, and it's pretty freaking amazing. Again, how they got away with it, or even, it is one of the most notable scenes in the entire film. So it's kind of, yes, you could probably have the film without it, maybe, but they'd still have to. It's that first interaction with Penelope that just blows anything else that happens in this movie out of the water. And yes, you see them again. They are not just wallflowers. They're not just a nice little Easter egg scene. They help in a little bit in the final conflict of the film. So yeah, I highly recommend this film. To me, it's so fun. It's the kind of thing that I could put on over and over and over again, like I'm a 7-year-old. And yeah. But I would probably get drawn into watching it and not get any work done, like I was today, every time I see it. By the way, of course, you want to stay. There is an after-credit sequence. I think there's a mid-credit sequence and a very end credit sequence, a sneak preview of Frozen 2 that may not sound interesting to you because you've probably already seen Frozen 2 or you don't care about Frozen 2. Still, watch it. It's very much within the spirit of the internet and clickbait and everything else. I will not ruin anything else about that. The animation in this is beyond amazing. It's gone so far beyond what the original film was like. Again, the technology keeps improving and improving, and I can see John C. Reilly and I can see Sarah Silverman in these characters, in the motions and the faces, in just how they move. I guess they've, the animators take their cue from how the actors express themselves when doing their lines, but it's just, I mean, it's so beautifully done. And of course, Gal Gadot, how can she, even animated, this woman is gorgeous. So it's just a good time. So it's you get to see all the princesses, and oh gosh, I just remember also within the princess scene, by the way, even Merida from Brave is in this, but she's from the other studio in Pixar, so she got included. So that's kind of interesting, and it's noted, let's just say that. So I'm trying to find a flaw in this. Oh yeah, by the way, the mid-credit sequence, yes, there is a mid-credit sequence which also pokes fun at the concept of the trailer. How sometimes you watch trailers and they show a big scene in it and it doesn't get included in the movie. Well, that is called out pretty strongly in this as well. So it's it's been a while. It's been many years. I think I've saw it a few times when it came out, and I don't think I've seen it again since then. So it's been a couple of years, and it just reminded me of just how much I love this film, from the acting to the animation to the humor to just about everything. And I play video games. I'm on the internet nonstop through 90% of my day, I think. And so this touches on so many different things. When it deals with spam, it deals with clickbait, it deals with prominent sites that also have gone the way of the dodo. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty fun to see all these things just thrown together, and it's done well. I think you could watch this thing a dozen times and still find more things, unless you find something like maybe there's a Buzzfeed article somewhere. Speaking of which, Buzzfeed was one of the only sites that was not included in this. There's a thing called BuzzFood and Buzz Search or whatever it is. There's references to things like BuzzFeed, but that's officially, BuzzFeed is not in this film, although like Mashable is, and just about every other major website. I don't know how much, eBay, they must have made a pretty penny off of letting them use their name in this film. I don't know. I would think so. Anyway, love it. Let's pick tomorrow's episode.
273.
273. 273. Oh, here we go. Well, this is going to be an easy one. We're going to watch a short. I think it's from Pixar, and it's called La Luna. The moon. La Luna, I believe, from Pixar is what we're seeing next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you there tomorrow with that.